You've heard the word manifestation thrown around a lot, right? But what if I told you it's not about some kind of magic or just wishful thinking? What if it's actually about a fundamental principle of how our minds literally shape our reality? Well, in this explainer, we're going to go beyond all the hype to uncover what it really means to create the life you truly want.
Okay, let's just dive right in by starting with the problem, because it's a big one. This quote from Tam Cower, it absolutely nails it. The internet is just a confusing mess of advice on manifestation. One person says do this, another says do that, and you're left with way more questions than answers. And honestly, just feeling completely overwhelmed.
So here's our roadmap to get some clarity. We're going to start by navigating that maze of misinformation together. Then, we'll explore the incredible creative power of your mind. After that, we'll get into how to shed your old identity, really embody the feelings you desire, and translate all of that into real-world action. And finally, we'll discover the true purpose of manifestation.
Right, so let's start by just acknowledging the maze. You've seen it, right? The endless methods, the 369 method, the pillow method, scripting. It's a total rabbit hole of techniques that can leave you feeling more lost than when you started. And the crazy part is, it completely misses the simple truth at the core of it all.
But here's the secret. If you strip away all those complicated methods, you find one simple, universal truth that everyone agrees on. It all starts in your mind. Your inner world is quite literally the blueprint for your outer world. That's it. That's the foundation.
To really understand just how powerful our minds are, let's turn to this amazing story from the yogic tradition as told by Sadhguru. It's a pretty simple tale, but trust me, it perfectly illustrates how our thoughts are constantly creating our reality. So our story begins with this weary traveler who just stumbles into a place that feels like paradise. He's exhausted from his long journey, and he just thinks to himself, man, if only I could rest. And in that very instant, this magnificent tree appears with a perfect patch of cool, soft grass right underneath it, just inviting him to lie down.
He wakes up feeling refreshed, but now he's hungry. He starts imagining all his favorite foods, and you guessed it, to his complete astonishment, a lavish feast just appears out of thin air. After he's eaten his fill, he thinks, a drink would be nice, and boom, an array of beverages materializes. Everything he even thinks about just appears right in front of him.
And this is where the story takes a really dark turn, revealing the true power of the mind. He's so overwhelmed by all this magic that his thoughts shift to fear. He thinks, this can't be real. There must be ghosts here. And suddenly, he's surrounded by them. His terror just escalates. Oh my God, they're going to kill me. And in that final thought, his reality is sealed. He dies.
So, what was this magical place? The man was sitting under what's known in yogic lore as a kalpavriksha, a wishing tree. But here's the real insight, the big takeaway. The kalpavriksha isn't some tree in a forest. It's a metaphor for a mind that is so focused and so organized that it can create anything. Your mind is the wishing tree, and it will give you whatever you ask of it, for better or for worse.
Okay, so if we all have this incredibly powerful wishing tree in our minds, why aren't we all just creating paradise all the time? Well, the answer lies a layer deeper than our conscious thoughts. It's about who we fundamentally believe we are. It's about our core identity. This quote from Natanya Bravo just gets right to the heart of it. You cannot create a new future while you're clinging to your old self. Manifestation isn't about getting things, it's about becoming the person who is a natural match for those things. Think about it. Your current identity is built on stories you've been telling yourself for years. I'm not good enough. Things like that just don't happen for me. There's a ceiling to my success. These aren't just passing thoughts. They're the bedrock of your reality. So to manifest something new, you have to write a new story with a new identity built on beliefs like I am powerful, I am magnetic, and I am worthy of all I desire.
So, the big question is, how do we build this new identity? Well, it's not about some mental battle where you're trying to force new thoughts. It's about something much more powerful and, frankly, more enjoyable. It's about generating the feeling of your desired reality in your body right here, right now.
This is really the essence of manifestation. You don't attract what you want, you attract who you are. The world around you is always just a mirror of your inner state. It's a really subtle but powerful shift from I want, which always comes from a place of lack, to I am, which comes from a place of wholeness.
Tam Cower's Lola and Athena analogy is such a powerful way to think about this. Lola is your inner critic, right? The voice of your old identity. And Athena is your inner champion, the voice of your new identity.
every single moment, your self-talk is either aligning you with your desires or it's pushing them away.
So you've done the inner work. You're clear on your vision. You're embodying the feeling. Awesome. Now it's time to bridge that gap between your inner and outer worlds by taking action that is truly aligned with your new identity.
So here's the cycle in action. First, you get laser-focused on what you want and the feeling it will bring. Second, you make that feeling your home base. You practice it daily. And third, you start acting like the person who already has what you desire, even if it's just in small ways at first.
And this, right here, is where the faith comes in. It's about holding that vision and holding that feeling, even when your external reality hasn't caught up yet. It's kind of like planting a seed. You have to trust that it's growing underground long before you ever see the first little sprout. This is the most challenging and honestly the most crucial part of the whole process.
Okay, finally, let's zoom out and ask the most important question of all. What is the real goal here? Is it just about acquiring more stuff, or is manifestation a tool for something much, much more profound?
This quote from Chris Carr, inspired by her dad, is just such a powerful reminder. We spend so much of our lives waiting for the golden years, putting our happiness on hold. We always say, I'll be happy when, but what if when never comes? Or what if it isn't what we expected?
You see, the real magic of manifestation isn't about reaching some distant, perfect future. No, it's about creating more like this moments in your life right now. It's about finding that feeling of joy in a perfect cup of coffee, or a walk in the sun, or a great conversation, and then using that feeling as a compass to create more of those moments.
So let's bring this all together. Let's forget about the grand, distant future for just a moment. What is one small, more like this moment you can create for yourself today? Because that's where the real power of manifestation lies. Not in waiting for some magical future, but in consciously creating a more magical present.